Let us journey back in time, far beyond any human memory, to a world that seems almost alien to us now. We must travel more than 250 million years into the deep past, to an Earth still finding its way. Imagine a sky thick with a hazy orange glow, choked with ash from immense volcanoes that scarred the horizon. Rivers of incandescent lava, glowing with primal heat, flowed across a barren and desolate landscape, building new land with every slow, inexorable advance. The air was heavy, warm, smelled of sulfur, smelled of stone. The oceans, vast and strangely quiet, lapped against shores that no human foot would ever touch. It was a world of stark and brutal beauty, a geological masterpiece in the making, but a difficult place for life to hold on. The continents we know today did not exist. Instead, a single immense landmass stretched across the globe. Upon this ancient ground, life was already present, but it was not the life we recognize. Small, hardy reptiles scurried across the baked earth. They were not yet dinosaurs, not by a long stretch of time. These were the survivors of an older epoch, creatures adapted to a harsh and unforgiving world. The immense pressures beneath the surface, the chemical composition of the atmosphere, the slow, silent dance of tectonic plates were all part of a grand and unseen plan. The small reptiles were pioneers, holding the genetic spark that would eventually give rise to the masters of the Mesozoic era. Before the dinosaurs could rise, the world that came before them had to fall. We find ourselves in the Permian period. All the Earth's land fused into Pangaea. Then, in a geological instant, the world came to a catastrophic halt. The Great Permian Extinction. Enormous eruptions poured lava for millennia, releasing unfathomable greenhouse gases. The world grew hotter, the oceans became acidic and lost their oxygen. On land, over 70% of vertebrates vanished. In the seas, up to 96%. Yet even this horror was a great reset, clearing the board for what would come next. In the aftermath of the Great Dying, the Earth was a quieter, emptier place. The Triassic period began, and life slowly reclaimed the planet. Hardy, adaptable plants started to spread, ferns, ginkgos. Among the survivors was a group called archosaurs, ruling lizards, distinguished by openings in the skull before the eyes. The archosaur family tree soon came to a crucial fork, a divergence that would shape the next 150 million years. One branch, the pseudosuchians, adapted to a semi-aquatic lifestyle, the path that led to crocodiles and alligators. The other branch, avimetatarsalia, developed legs beneath the body, an efficient upright stance. Posture change was revolutionary. They could run faster, breathe more easily while moving, hunt and escape across open Triassic plains. This mobility and stamina set them apart, unlocking a world of possibilities. Around 231 million years ago, in what would become South America, the first true dinosaurs took their first steps. These pioneers were modest in size, many no larger than a dog, but built for a new world. Among the earliest was Eoraptor, the dawn plunderer, a small, lightly built biped that ran swiftly, its tail held stiffly behind for balance. Eoraptor, Herrerasaurus, hands with sharp curved claws, jaws lined with small serrated teeth, features that foretold the success of their kind. They were active hunters in fern-covered lowlands, senses keen, perhaps warm-blooded or with higher metabolism than their cousins. Unlike cold-blooded relatives that needed to bask, they could hunt in cool mornings or evenings, a significant edge. For millions of years they were not rulers. They lived in the shadows of larger crocodilian-line archosaurs and other strange Triassic beasts. But they were patient, adaptable, and carried potential for incredible diversity and size. The humble opening act in a drama spanning 3 geologic periods. The dawn had broken. The age of the dinosaurs was about to begin. not with a thunderous roar, but with the quick, light footsteps of a new kind of hunter. As the Triassic gave way to the Jurassic, Pangaea fractured, birthing new continents. Continental drift changed ocean currents, changed weather patterns, creating a warmer, wetter, more stable climate. Lush forests spread across the land. Abundant food followed. This green world sparked an explosion of dinosaur evolution. They grew to unimaginable sizes and diversified into dazzling forms. This was the era of the giants. In response to endless tall vegetation, sauropods marched toward immense size. Tiny heads, enormously long necks, barrel-shaped bodies, whip-like tails, living mountains of flesh. Majestic Brachiosaurus reaching into conifers, Diplodocus grazing with its long neck. Pillars of the Jurassic world. Pillar-like legs supported colossal bodies. Their footsteps shook the ground. They were the largest land animals ever. Great herds invited great predators. Jurassic apex, Allosaurus, large skull, blade-like teeth, strong three-clawed hands, a terrifyingly efficient killing machine. Much later, in the Cretaceous, Tyrannosaurus rex, bone-crushing bite and colossal size. Shifting continents, changing climates fueled incredible diversification. New oceans formed, land masses isolated, populations separated, evolving in unique directions. The fossil record shows spectacular variety. Triceratops and other horned ceratopsians, armored ankylosaurs with clubbed tails, duck-billed hadrosaurs with elaborate crests. For over 165 million years, they dominated terrestrial ecosystems, adapting and evolving into a dynasty of unparalleled success, a testament to life in a changing world. For all their colossal size and fearsome power, the lives of these giants all began the same humble way, inside an egg. Like their modern descendants, the birds' dinosaurs were oviparous. Eggs came in many shapes and sizes, nests from simple scrapes to elaborate mounds. Within the calcareous shell, a miracle unfolded. A heart flickered, a spine formed, limbs budded with minuscule claws. Skin gained texture, scaly like reptiles or soft with primitive feathers. The egg was a self-contained world of food, water, and protection. Then movement began. Using an egg tooth, the hatchling chipped away until a piece broke free, and it took its first breath. It pushed free, wet, exhausted, utterly vulnerable, blinking in the Mesozoic light. What happened next varied. Some, like Maiasaura, guarded nests and brought food. Others left hatchlings to fend for themselves, hiding from predators, finding their own food. For an almost incomprehensible span, these giants and their kin were masters of our planet, a reign over 165 million years. About 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid struck near modern Mexico, unleashing firestorms, colossal tsunamis, and a dust shroud that ended their world. As we stand before their remains, we imagine the ground shaking with sauropod footfalls and the glint in a hunting Tyrannosaurus eye. Yet the story does not truly end. One small group of feathered, two-legged dinosaurs survived, the ancestors of modern birds. It began not with a roar, but with a shadow. An enormous three-toed footprint pressed deep into wet concrete. The air held its breath, the familiar drone of traffic replaced by stillness. Screens flickered with trembling footage, something immense and reptilian moving through Chicago's steel canyons. We stared upward, disbelief veiled by a primal, chilling fear. The first was a lone Tyrannosaurus. Confused, its calls resonant with disorientation, not rage. Yet scale alone was ruin, a flick of tail, and the city buckled. Our thorough modernity felt fragile, our timeline severed from the past. Hoax, stunt. Then the evidence became undeniable. Raptors in Montana, a Brachiosaurus stripping the Amazon canopy. Sightings spread like a virus across continents. The question in every lab was simple. How? As the planet warmed, permafrost and ice shelves thawed, doors opening in deep time. They released preserved cells, DNA fragments, even intact Mesozoic viruses. We drilled our planet's memory and scattered it into the living world. Extremophiles absorbed ancient genes. Currents, winds, and migrations carried them everywhere. Scientists called it evolutionary reemergence, not cloning, but a ghost reawakening life's code. Our heat and carbon remade Cretaceous skies. Our farmlands became nurseries. Ancient DNA overwrote embryos. Crocodile eggs hatched allosaurs. Cassowaries birthed raptors. We opened a door we could never close. Low rumbles vibrated through buildings. Pterosaur shrieks knifed the sky. And in between, a silence where we were no longer the loudest thing on Earth. Governments labeled them invasive. Containment was the goal. Helicopters and destroyers roared, a spectacle of might against prehistory. For every creature felled, 10 more emerged. The tide was relentless. In a rich modern world, giants grew at astonishing rates. Forests became grasslands. Ecosystems pivoted under their weight. Pack intelligence adapted, avoiding open plains, striking from cover. Storms and faults became unwitting allies. To exterminate them was to fight rain and wind. There was no logic to a Triceratops charge, no negotiation with a hungry Spinosaurus. We weren't fighting an enemy. We were fighting the planet, and losing. The fall wasn't a single day. It was a grinding decay. Water shattered, power failed, supply chains bled out. Cities became islands, cut from the world, dark, dry, and hungry. Messages of calm rang hollow as scarcity rewrote power. Our cliffs and caves were buildings. Libraries became lairs. Survivor tales were quiet horror. The drum of giant steps, mournful calls through empty districts. Starvation, disease, conflict, until the truth settled. This world wasn't ours. The cities that once protected us had become traps. Great urban centers, green monuments to a vanished age. The age of humans was ending, and we were the last to know. With central governments gone, resistance became local. Walled enclaves against the wild, engineers, doctors, farmers, teachers, forced into strategy and defense. Smartphone designers turned to walls and wires. Fences ran on sunlight. We mapped migrations, hunting habits, weaknesses. Food knowledge could equal firepower. This war wasn't bombs and missiles. It was ingenuity and will. Old world horns deterred some. Certain scents turned others away. Children learned dinosaur songs as once we learned birds. A lapse in vigilance, a weak wire, a missed dose, and a community could vanish. Stripped of old divisions, we found a single purpose: tomorrow. A new kind emerged, scavengers, ghosts among the ruins. They carried news, goods, and knowledge, a slow flesh and blood network. Stories taught rules. When predators hunt, what attracts the small and swift? Stay perfectly still, and the giants may ignore you. Ilara walked a continent and taught that understanding, not hate, keeps you alive. Even monsters have young. Instinct, not malice, guides them. Scavengers preserved what they could, our memory in brittle pages. Many never returned, but their routes stitched humanity together. Her lesson was simple: learn, adapt, endure. Every day was a victory. Humanity's greatest weapon was adaptability. Decades later, the Earth was visibly transformed, healing in ways none expected. Air cleared, rivers ran bright. Not Eden, but a wilder, more dangerous balance. Nature reclaimed our vertical forests and blacktop canyons. Wetlands and thickets became perfect for the small and swift. An ancient orchestra, booming, chirping, rustling, filled the world. Herds managed landscapes, their bulk locking carbon, easing the planet's fever. Dinosaurs weren't a plague, they were a cure, brutal to us, vital to Earth. We learned rhythms, migrations, and the signs of storms, tenants, not owners. Isolation threatened our future. The Great Migration reconnected us. Mild coasts, natural choke points, and the sea's resources beckoned. Journeys lasted years. Disciplined formations, scouts, guarded flanks. Farming wisdom met defense tactics. Old divisions dissolved. They walked inside a documentary grander than any filmed. Terror, yes, and a deep, humbling beauty. Today we endure, smaller, quieter, humbler, in the giant's shadow. We turned from dominion, weapons rust. We chose coexistence. In quiet corners we kept our best. Art, music, stories, compassion. The return wasn't an ending. It was a violent, tragic reset from our path of self-destruction. A species is measured not by control, but by wisdom to find its place. Our last stand was a choice. To let go, to begin again. That is where we stand. Imagine for a moment a world unlike our own, a world ruled by giants. For more than 150 million years, dinosaurs were the undisputed masters of our planet. They were a magnificent and diverse group of animals. Some, like the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex, were fearsome predators. Others, like the gentle, long-necked Brachiosaurus, were peaceful herbivores, stripping leaves from the tallest trees. They walked every continent. They swam in every ocean. Their reign seemed endless, until in a single, terrible moment, their world was shattered forever. The story begins with a flash of impossible light, brighter than 1,000 suns. A colossal rock from deep space hurtled toward Earth at unimaginable speed, perhaps 10 kilometers wide. On the ground, there was no warning. One moment, a Tyrannosaurus stalked its prey. The next, the Earth trembled violently. The air crackled with immense energy, followed by a roar louder than any creature had ever made. The impact vaporized the asteroid, and billions of tons of the Earth's crust, hurling superheated gas and molten rock outward. Everything for hundreds of kilometers was incinerated. Earthquakes beyond any record tore the crust, and tsunamis hundreds of meters high raced across oceans. It was the day of fire and fury that would close a great chapter in Earth's history. How did this age of giants end so abruptly? The clues would be written in stone and read by us. The leading explanation for the dinosaurs' demise is the asteroid impact theory. Scientists believe it struck about 66 million years ago. A thin, dark layer of clay appears worldwide at exactly that time, the KPG boundary. Within it, anomalously high iridium, rare in Earth's crust, common in asteroids and comets. An impact lofted iridium-rich dust into the stratosphere, settling as a global blanket. The immediate aftermath was grim. Pulverized rock and dust spread rapidly, blocking sunlight. The world plunged into a deep twilight and sudden cold, an impact winter lasting months to years. Without sunlight, photosynthesis stalled. Plants died, herbivores starved, and then the predators. The food web collapsed in a geological blink of an eye. The asteroid did not kill every dinosaur directly. It changed the world so completely that their survival became impossible. The question has captivated us for generations. For years, one piece was missing: the crater. For many years, the asteroid theory had a missing piece: the crater. In the late 20th century, scientists finally located it, hidden beneath a kilometer of younger rocks and sediments. Half on land, half beneath the Gulf of Mexico, near the town of Chicxulub, an immense scar, roughly 180 kilometers across and 20 kilometers deep. Drill cores dated the crater to exactly 66 million years. The rocks tell a story of extreme violence, shocked quartz formed only by high-velocity impacts. The asteroid struck a shallow sea rich in carbonate and sulfate rocks. Vaporization released material that formed sulfuric acid clouds, intense acid rain. Oceans turned corrosive, devastating marine life, especially shell makers like plankton and ammonites. A rain of superheated debris, tiny glass tektites, re-entered, turning the sky into a broiler and igniting wildfires across continents. Soot in the KPG layer, shocked quartz, and the crater align, a perfect storm of destructive forces. Next came darkness. The most immediate and widespread effect of the Chicxulub impact was profound darkness. The sun was blotted out by dust, soot, and aerosols. Photosynthesis ceased almost completely. Forests withered, ferns, conifers. In the oceans, algae and phytoplankton, the base of life, died. With plants gone, herbivores starved, soon the predators that relied on them. Abundant bones below the KPG boundary, above it, them gone. Picture a starving Tyrannosaurus roaming a dark, frozen world. This was a slow, grim decline. Ecosystems unraveled from the bottom up. Pterosaurs, mosasaurs, plesiosaurs, ammonites, all vanished. The impact winter was among the most severe challenges life has faced. From the shadows, the seeds of survival remained. Yet the asteroid was not the only force reshaping Earth. On the far side of the world, the ground itself opened. While the impact explains a sudden catastrophe, another immense event unfolded in India, the Deccan Traps. For hundreds of thousands of years, vast floods of lava poured from fissures, stacking layer upon layer. The bigger threat was gas. Trillions of tons of carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and other greenhouse gases. These emissions drove long-term climate instability, warming from CO2, intermittent cooling from sulfate aerosols, and acid rain. Did eruptions precede and follow the impact? Some studies suggest the shockwave intensified volcanism, a 1-2 punch. Even before sea levels were falling, vast shallow seas like the Western Interior Seaway vanished. Coastal habitats shrank. The climate grew more extreme and unpredictable. Connected land masses increased competition and spread new diseases. Fossils show large dinosaur diversity declined a few million years before the final event. With fewer players, ecosystems became fragile, like a wobbly table easily toppled. Many scientists favor a combined model: long-term stress plus the asteroid, the final catastrophic blow. It was the ultimate bad day in a very long bad century for the dinosaurs. The proof of it all lies in stone. The story is read in Earth's own pages, the layers beneath our feet. Below the KPG line, rich, diverse fossils. Above, sudden absence. Microscopic clues add detail: iridium anomaly, shocked quartz, tiny tektites, and soot from global wildfires. Marine foraminifera crash, large ornate species below, only tiny simple forms above, as if the oceans reset. On land, flowering and conifer pollen decline. A fern spore spike marks burned landscapes recolonized. Across the world, the layers synchronize, pointing to a single global event: Chicxulub. In the midst of devastation, how did anything survive? The key was size and lifestyle. Small, mostly nocturnal mammals in burrows. They needed less food and ate insects, worms, roots, and crucially, long-lived seeds. Freshwater ecosystems proved resilient, supporting crocodiles, turtles, and amphibians. Did all dinosaurs perish? No, one lineage survived. Birds, direct descendants of small, feathered, meat-eating dinosaurs. Small size, warm-blooded metabolism, the ability to fly, and seed diets gave them an edge. Their lineage continues in sparrows, eagles, penguins, even ostriches. The extinction pruned the dinosaur tree, but left a feathered twig to grow. The end of dinosaurs was a tragedy, but extinction is also a beginning. With niches emptied, survivors seized opportunity. Mammals diversified explosively, grew larger, ran, climbed, swam. Some became primates, some returned to the sea as early whales. Others replaced the great predators and herbivores. So began the Cenozoic, the age of mammals. Over tens of millions of years, evolution led to bats, elephants, rodents, and humans. Had the asteroid missed, dinosaurs might still dominate a very different Earth. Their demise was our opportunity, and a humbling lesson about fragility and planetary power.